Hello friends, welcome. So today we are starting with a very introductory video to make all of you understand what is exactly UPSC Civil Service Examination. As you all might be knowing, if you are a veteran or as a new aspirant, every one of us are very curious about what exactly is UPSC, what exactly is Civil Service Examination, and still you might encounter people in your relatives or in your surrounding who struggle with the understanding of what is UPSC examination. So the idea of making this video is to clarify few of the fundamental understanding about the examination, so a student who is actually starting his preparation very recently or just now should be able to have a fundamental level of understanding that what exactly is the exam which they are going to appear. So let's start. First, let me give a brief introduction about myself. My name is Kishan Maipar. I'm a BTech graduate from NIT Trichy. I'm currently working as a policy professional, you can say. So I have 7+ years of experience in public affairs domain, where I got an opportunity to work with NGOs, philanthropic organizations, governments, and political parties on different assignments over the period of 7+ years. So I also have been fortunate to have some competitive exam success in IIT, JEE, CAT, GRE, and UPSC, as I mentioned in the slide. Now let's come back to the actual topic. So what is UPSC Civil Service Examination? What is it? It is actually a competitive exam. The exam is fundamentally directed towards recruiting individuals who has certain qualifications and with certain merit. Okay, so qualifications is something which, as an aspirant, when you're filling up the form for the examination, you are feeling that you are graduate, you have certain percentage of marks in your graduation subject. That is meant for the qualification part. For the merit part, you have to appear for different stages of the examination that will come to know about soon. So the idea of recruiting civil servants is to serve government of India. They have different group of services, group A, group B, and all India services. UPSC is basically, what is UPSC? So UPSC is not an exam. UPSC is an institute. It's basically a constitutional body which conducts this examination. Like civil service examination, it also conducts various other examinations. So we should not confuse between what is UPSC and what is civil service examination. These two are different things. UPSC is the constitutional body which conducts the examination, and civil service examination is the actual examination which you as an aspirant is going to appear. Now, all India services primarily include administrative service, police service, and also there is another all India service called forest service, and foreign service also considered in an all India service part. Other services include Group A, Group B, which I have listed here. You can pause and take a look at it. Apart from that, let's move forward to the core part of what examination comprises of. So, examination is basically conducted in 3 stages. So, stage of examination are probably preliminary examination, mains examination, and interview. We'll have a detailed video about each of these stage, but let me give you a brief idea here. Preliminary exam is basically a 200 marker exam, 200 marker 2 paper exam. So it's a one-day thing. Mains examination is conducted generally over the period of 9 to 10 days, where they take 9 papers, out of which 2 papers are qualifying papers and 7 papers subject-specific papers. There are GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, and 2 optional papers. Apart from that, there is also paper on essay. So preliminary examination can be seen basically as a screening examination, where the core objective is simply to clear the examination, to get certain cutoff marks so that you can appear for the mains examination. In the final merit list of the examination, the total marks which a student gets is actually the marks of mains examination, and then they are shortlisted for interview. Interview is also an examination. It's more about personality test. So it is 275 marks examination, which is aimed to understand the student who is appearing for the examination, who is wanting to become a civil servant. The experts panel of the UPSC judges their personality, the suitability for the role in the civil services. So just to give you a brief idea, we'll take a detailed video on each of these at a later stage. Now, the most important thing for any aspirant or any new aspirant who is willing to or who is looking forward to appear for the examination is to understand this timeline cycle of the examination. Why I am saying so? Because you might have heard stories of people who are spending more than 5 years, 6 years, and at least 3+ years in this cycle of examination. And the idea to give you a brief about this examination, this cycle in detail, is to make you understand that how crucial is to analyze the risk while you are appearing for the examination, or analyze the, at least if not the risk from this cycle, you should understand the what amount of time you should be able to commit without fail and without thinking much of the consequences if you are looking to clear this examination. So for if you are appearing for 2023 examination, just follow this cycle. You will understand what I'm trying to say. So first you may have preliminary examination in May 2023. I think it's 28th May to be precise. But just for the sake of simplicity, just consider the months for now. So it's a prelim examination. Now the result of the examination will take around on an average 20 to 30 days. Like for us, it came in 90 days only, 17 days, and in previous year 19 days. Because of the COVID, there was certain delay. So they have ensured the result came out early so that future exam can be conducted smoothly. But you can consider up to 1 month time to for the prelim result to come. So if you fail in the prelim, then you have to start again from the next year prelim examination, which will be probably scheduled in May 2024. So you can understand that suppose you are here and you are starting preparation 6 months before May 2023. So you can come around November, something like that. So if you start at November 2023, November 2022 preparation, then after spending 6 months, you might have to wait another year if you fail the prelims examination then and there. So straight away you are losing a year if you fail prelim exam here itself. Now, if you suppose you succeed in prelim examination and you move towards appearing for mains examination, it's very good. You will get an opportunity to, now since prelim, as we'll see later in our detailed video of prelim examination, it has also significant component of luck in it. So and some various other value factors which can help you, which can make prelim and break prelim for you, because it's a one day thing. Okay, but if you're lucky enough and you have done few things right and you are getting chance to appear for mains examination, here you can expect that uh, the efforts which you're giving from the result, starting from the time you get the prelims result and appearing in the mains examination in September 2023 for suppose. So whatever 2-3 months efforts you are giving, you can actually see the result in the mains examination. So mains exam is more about your effort. So here you get a chance to write answers. Not, it's not as objective as prelims, but still there are a lot that goes in this 2-3 months. But again, if you fail the result of mains examination is expected to come in 60 days. So suppose you get a result in November last week or the December first week. Now again, since if you fail here, then you have to repeat the cycle and wait for the prelim examination that will happen in May next year. So you can see, after spending almost a year, if you fail, then you have to again appear for the next examination. There is nothing like, if few of people here are aware about this chartered accountancy examination, they may be aware that if you fail in the main examination or a part of the group, there are two groups. If you fail in one group, you can still appear for the other group in the next cycle. Generally, they have 3 to 4 exams, in 2 to 3 exams in a year. So accordingly, it's nothing like that in civil services. You have to start from the beginning. So that's why this understanding this cycle and accepting this cycle is important. Then if you succeed in mains examination and you move forward for the personality test, which generally takes place uh, in, in the first week of Feb or from Feb to March, uh, it almost takes around 1.5 months to complete. So if you get success here, then obviously you will get rank, you will get not a lot of recognition because the fame attached with the examination. But still you have to understand that before you join the service, it will go up to August 2024, which where you might already have another film that have taken place. So what is the idea of presenting this cycle to you? The idea of presenting this cycle is to make you understand that if you start in November 2022 also for 2023 examination, to reach to position where you are able to join the service, in the best case scenario, you are almost taking a 2 years time. Okay, but still, if you fail at any of these stages and you have to then again appear for the prelim examination, that will take place in the next year, May 2024, and this cycle will be repeated. So please try to focus on, take a pause and put the video on the pause and take some time to understand this cycle and imbibe it. Why? Because this will help you test your motivation for the examination. This will help you understand what is the real challenge behind the examination. The examination is not about learning and writing the paper. It is also about passing through this phase of the period, this phase of examination, which almost takes at least 2 year time for any good student, or any student who passes every stage of the examination successfully in the one go. Then also it takes a 2 years time. So it is a very strong commitment that you have to make to yourself. So don't jump in this examination just for the sake that you might get a power, you might get authority, you have a strong motivation to serve the country. All of that thing is fine. If you are able to weigh this commitment with the objective or aim that you have for the examination, if still your objective and aim weighs above this all this commitment, then you can surely go ahead and appear for the examination. My objective is not to demotivate you. The idea is only to give you the aware you with the reality that this exam will have over the next 1 or 2 years, which are going to put for the examination. Now, adding to my uh, point of the success, the idea to appear for the examination and how to take decision, because when you enter the exam cycle, there are a lot of information that you will be bombarded with from through YouTube, through toppers, through different coaching which you will be joining or you might be joining. But it is important beforehand to analyze your chances and to make a strong conviction in your decision that yes, despite all these facts that I have been made aware of, I am still confident enough and I still want to appear for this examination. If this is the conviction you have after this video or this session at least, then my all the best wishes are with you, because nobody can stop you clearing this examination, because this is the kind of conviction you need. Because otherwise at any stage of exam you might feel that this is not worth it. So you should not have such kind of feeling. That's why I'm making you aware of such facts. Now if you analyze the success rate in this examination, so I have past few 5 years data which I have in front of me about the just giving you a brief that how many of students apply for it. So if you see the applicants, 2022 it is expected that 11.52 lakh students have applied. In 2021 it's close to 11 lakhs. In 2020 it was 10.5 lakhs. In 2019 again 11.5 lakhs. In 2018 approx 10.65 lakhs. So if you see the applicants and the people who appeared for the prelims, there is almost a 50% ratio, or you can say half of the students or more than half of the students not even dare to appear for the prelim examination. There can be multiple reasons for it. First, that most of the students who have applied, they were either under parental pressure or peer pressure, or they just wanted to have some reason to avoid some decisions in their life, or they might not be, they were not confident enough to appear for the exams, they might be scared. So you can see that 50%, 60% of the applicants simply give up before the prelims examination. There might be some other factors because of the resources and other things, they were not able to reach the exam center, something like that can also happen. But considering them to be a little less percentage of all the students, uh, I strongly believe a majority of applicants who apply for the examination are not confident enough or not convict, not have not taken decision with conviction earlier that they would really want to appear for the examination. There's a core reason that they don't appear. Now, from the number of students who appear for the examination, if you see the success rate in prelims itself, the students who clear the prelims and appear for the mains are eligible to appear for the mains examination. You can see in 2022 there were approximately 5 lakh students who appear for prelims, and only 13,090 students were able to clear the examination. Just imagine, approximately 4,90,000 students who appeared for the prelims have not cleared it. So they have to again wait another year to for the next prelims to be able to given a chance to prove their mettle or to achieve their dream. So just imagine 4,90,000 students were simply eliminated at this stage. So that's why I have a hypothesis or theory around prelims examination is that prelims examination is an examination to fail you. And I'm not saying that just take my word by heart and note it down, but the idea, you should understand the idea, the philosophy. Because as a UPSC, as an organization, if they want to, they have just, if you see just 1,000 vacancies, and some years even less than that, see 712. So they have a responsibility to give equal opportunity to everybody. And this equal opportunity, there are also people who are privileged or who have access to variety of resources in the form of coaching and many other things. And also there are people who are not so privileged or do not have resources. So UPSC has to create a balance for them. They cannot have something which can be easily taught to the coaching institute, taught by the coaching institutes and can be prepared for. They have an element in the examination which allows for your individual thinking, your individual understanding. This is the core reason why they are successfully able to eliminate such a huge number of people, almost 90% or more than 95% of people at the prelim stage itself. Now, just understand that clearing prelims examination itself a big challenge for 95% of the people. So consider this risk factor before taking a decision. I'm not, as I told earlier also, I'm not here to make you worried or make you feel scared of the examination. The only idea of this whole session is to just to make you aware about the brute facts, the reality, since all the numbers which I have presented here are either sourced from the UPSC annual report or taken from the comments made by UPSC experts on and during the examination, reported by various news media houses. So this is not my numbers, this is the factual numbers. As you can see, in 2021 there were almost 11 lakh students who appeared, and only 5 lakh students who, sorry, 11 lakh students who filled the form, only 5 lakh appeared. Approximately 10,000 were eligible to appear for mains, and only at the end only 712 were selected. If you calculate the percentage or the success rate in the examination is less than 0.01%. So this you should be aware. Now, moving ahead with our idea. So I'm simply looking to give you a holistic understanding about the examination. So I thought to make you aware about few expectations as a student, as an aspirant, you should have certain expectations or what something which you will have a sense or feeling over time, and you should be aware of it beforehand that such feelings will pop up in your mind or you will feel like that during the course of the examination. First, you might feel alone. This is a fact. You will be you most of the time you will be alone in your room studying and preparing for the examination. You will feel tempted to talk to your friends, go out, do party, attend your relatives, meet with your relatives, attend your festivals or other celebrations in your home and around. But these things will, obviously you can do few of you can attend few of them, you can do few of them, it's nothing bad in that. But if you engage too much in such activity, you might not be able to focus fully in the examination with this exam actually demands. Because as the time passes, there is competition in the exam is increasing because of the propping of coaching institutes. There are people who are already a certain level of this preparation with the help of coaching, and if you are a new aspirant and you are not very much aware of this examination, then to come to this level and to compete with them and beat them to, mind my pardon my word, but I have to use this word because it's a competitive examination. So to beat them and succeed in this examination and achieve your dream service, so you have to do something extra, and that extra can only come when you totally dedicate yourself to the examination. You should find out your time for yourself and elements for yourself that cheers you up and that entertains you. But that doesn't mean you engage in every event in your surrounding you. You have to dedicate a certain significant portion of your personal time and your professional time all together in this examination. So at times you might feel alone, you might feel like giving up because you will see your friends rising in position professionally. They are get few of your friends may go to master's degree, go to US, go to other places. Few of them will get married. You might feel like this because if you fail in the prelims or any other stage of the examination, in the second attempt or in the third attempt, you might feel like giving it up. So this is a fact. You might feel like it. You should expect it beforehand that this might happen. You should not get worried or too much depressed about it, but you should be aware that such kind thing can happen with you. Feelings that you are doing it is wrong is wrong. The idea is that this examination is about a lot of decisions that you take, not only from the information which I'm trying to give you here. Apart from that, every subject you study, the amount of hours you put in, the way you study, the approach you apply to learn things, remember things, understand things throughout the course of the examination, the type of question you would like to attempt, the way you want to attempt your paper, the way you prepare yourself before the examination, and number of things that can go behind, that can go in your mind subconsciously or consciously. You may feel that you are doing it wrong because at times you feel like there are a lot of information around you and you are not able to judge for yourself what is right for you, what is the right path. So you may feel like okay, you might be doing it wrong. At the same time, there are people who give advices blatantly without considering your personal situations. If you try to adjust yourself or align yourself with their thought and understanding, you might feel that you are doing wrong. So such things might crop up during the examination. You might also at times be overwhelmed by the length and breadth of syllabus. So you might not be aware, or you might be aware that the mains examination which you will have after the second stage If I have to break it down into individual subjects, there are minimum of 17 subjects that comprises the mains examination. And subjects means not only single chapter, each subject will at least have a book length of syllabus. If you have to concise it to a level, to understand, to give you an idea, each subject will have at least have a single book, the kind of syllabus that you have to cover. So at times you might feel overwhelmed कि यार ये तो बहुत ही कुछ है, there are so many things to study. So how you go about it? So it will be difficult for you to make decision at times, and this might create anxiety. As I mentioned the next point, there is a chances of increasing anxiety, especially closer to each stage of examination. Suppose the prelims is in the next 2 months. Despite having committed good amount of time and having good understanding, you still will have anxiety that okay, something can happen in the examination can go anyway, because it's a 1 day 2 hours thing. So there will be obviously an anxiety, but you should not indulge too much yourself too much in this anxiety. You should understand that this is very natural, and you should move ahead with your strategy and preparation. Then there is also something called you might be scared of future. Okay, suppose I don't clear the examination, what will happen? So this is called speculation, from to be precise, because as a human being we tend to speculate a lot on the possibilities of what can go wrong or what can go right. The idea to solve this situation is to simply believe that this is not in your hand. What is in your hand is that you are putting in the right effort, and you're putting in the right intention behind this examination, and you're trying to give your best for the examination. Whatever else happens as a result or as an outcome is not particularly in your hand at this point of time. So don't be scared about the future. There will be anxiety and fear of plan B, as this is related to the previous point, because this will be not very much relevant to the people who are giving their first attempt, but especially for the people who are giving their second and third attempt, there will be anxiety. Yeah, last year also I was not successful. I missed here and there. Suppose suppose this year also if I do some mistake or I'm not able to clear the examination, then what should I do in the future? If not UPSC, then what? So this question is very genuine and very natural. So first, don't be anxious about it. Try to think why you want to appear for the UPSC examination. If you have that objective very much clear, then you will obviously find way to achieve that objective through an alternate path, because appearing and clearing UPSC examination is just one path to achieve your goal, but that doesn't mean that without UPSC you can't achieve that goal. So you have to post the examination, or if you are very anxious a particular day, try to assure yourself that you will find a definitely a path, but the goal should be very much clear. That goal you should clarify in your mind just before doing entering this journey, because that goal is very important. If that gives you conviction also during the examination. Then overconfidence. At times you suppose you will find yourself appearing for the mains examination or mock test, not mains examination, so mock test and prelims, and you might score well. Suppose a day you feel that okay, you are able to complete the targeted plan which you have prepared for yourselves, and you are very confident that you will do it in the next day. That is good that you are able to achieve something, but don't let that small achievement or some small achievement or a part of achievement which is not tangible, like until you clear the prelims, don't feel confident that you can clear the prelims. Have such mindset that you will clear the prelims, but don't be overconfident about from the just one mock test examination. Suppose you score above 100 in one mock test and you are scoring less than 17 other mock tests. This in such a situation you should not go either way. You should not be overconfident or you should not be underconfident. You should identify your or errors and try to improve till the day you are giving your prelims, because till that day everything you do mistake, everything that you do right is important and an important learning for you to how you should appear for a prelims examination. So there's both aspects to it. You should not be overconfident, you shouldn't be underconfident. So at times you will, without realizing much, you will overdo a subject. Suppose you start liking polity, and or you might also start liking economy for the reason given. There can be, as I mentioned, there are 17 subjects in the mains examination. In prelims, there are approximately 8 9 subjects to define it properly. So if you are confident in a particular subject, or if you like doing certain subjects, you might overdo them. So don't do that. So this will happen consciously and unconsciously, and you might realize it late that you are giving too much time to polity, too much time to reading Lakshmikant, which was unnecessary. So you have to separate your create chambers of your mind, or you have to allocate certain time to each subject so that you miss none of them. Obviously, there are few subjects like politics and economy which needs more emphasis, but that doesn't mean you should give all your time to those subjects. The idea behind this point is that you will obviously, when we go in detail about prelims and mains examination later in a different video, we'll get into this thing and we'll understand that how to prepare each subject. But just to give you an idea upfront about what things you might expect in the examination, this was relevant for you to understand. Then there will be times when you are irregular in your preparation. Suppose you're not feeling well in a particular day, or you feel too much stressed out for after a week long exhaustive schedule of study that you prepared for yourself, or there are some very unavoidable event or gathering in your family. So at those times there will be irregularity in the preparation. But the idea behind putting this point is to make you understand that first, don't get irritated because of such irregularity, and second, don't get casual in a way that this irregularity becomes your habit. If there are few things which are unavoidable, then don't think much about it and be a part of that. Like suppose your parent need you for a particular day, then be with them. It is also important because they, I hope they are important for you in your life. But don't make it a habit that every day you are living the study, and just don't following your routine. You can make any kind of routine, but the idea is to follow them. Don't be irregular with yourself. Try to achieve the small target which you are giving to yourself. Don't be irregular, because regularity helps you keep discipline, and it also create a mental framework, that because you're preparing for something, your mind is getting prepared every day for a particular goal. So that enforces and strengthens that idea. Now, unable to commit effective study hours. This can also be a problem because if you're at home, many of my friends also face that issue, that they were not very comfortable when they are at home studying, because there can be different noises, or if you don't have a separate room or separate study area. So this can be a problem for you to commit study hours. Or suppose you are working professional and your work demands you to commit more than 8 hours or 9 hours a day, and even at odd hours you might get called. So this can really affect your study hours. So in that case, the idea should be like, for me at times I used to commit 2 to 3 hours just before, means just after waking up, or you can say 4 to 6 or 4 to 7, something like that, because I know during the daytime I might not get any hour, because at any time I can get my call from the work, or my family might need me for something. So there was a phase in my life I used to study for 4 to 7. And why I'm saying that was important, because that those 3 hours were fully dedicated for my study, and they actually helped me complete my syllabus in the first go. Because there are many theories behind that, that in early in the morning you have a different and good capability to learn. Those are there, but the idea is, I believe the idea is not that. The idea is that you are effectively able to commit a particular time which you can commit on a regular basis is more important than anything else. Then the next point is feeling of need to confirmation from an expert. So this is a problem. This is a very unique problem, that you might not agree very early in your preparation, because as an aspirant, and for when we are actually appearing for something of the popularity of like UPSC civil service examination, which has a lot of brand authority and image attached to it, we tend to forget it's an exam. We tend to believe it's something like supernatural or paranormal, which only few people will be aware of, only few people can tell us. But if you by any chance go to UPSC civil service examination notification of any year, like you can take a notification of 2022, there are every bit of information there for you to understand that what this exam demands from you. But the problem is that since the notification is very lengthy, nobody takes that effort to go through the notification very clearly and understand every bit of it, and obviously at times it's difficult to comprehend. But that doesn't mean that for every decision you take in the examination, like which subject to study, at how much time you should commit, everything does not need any expert confirmation. You can do all of those things by taking your self decision. What will happen at the worst case? You will take a decision, you will understand within a 2 3 days or a week time that you are doing it wrong, then you can course correct. And this is actually needed, because the study plan you make, the type of study you do, the type of subject you study, the way you study should be decided by you and not by an expert. They can guide you, but they cannot make decision for you. So it should be you to make a decision and believe in yourself. Strongly believe in yourself, because that is the most important quality that you will have as a civil servant later in your life also. And UPSC will check you at every stage of this exam. It will check your self belief and confidence. And then there are other factors which will vary individually, like few people who don't have access to particular thing like internet, or they are living in a remote place. So variety of factors based on the personal situation, socioeconomic background, and many other things. So that can appear for you, and which we can discuss obviously later. If you want a particular video focused on this subject, we can surely discuss. Now, moving forward, I would also like to discuss few myths. So let me take a pause.